Okay. That's enough weirdness for you. Um, so that was just an intro. Let's get into the real stuff now. So let's just break down what exactly is the shadow, what exactly is the inner world, because I'm not even going to change the picture because that's what got me into trouble last time. So everybody exists, has an inner world. Your inner world is based upon the truth of how you see yourself internally. And this is a imaginative, diverse, expansive understanding. A good movie to watch to understand how you could utilize the full function of your shadow is What Dreams May Come. Because your inner world is your responsibility. If you want your inner world to be a place of luxury, of high echelon energy, nobody is going to come and intercede in between you and say, you know what? You can't view yourself as a higher echelon spiritual being. You must, in your inner world, could be so fucking amazing. So the reality of all this bullshit that's happening on the external is to keep you in a loop, in a cycle where nothing actually happens, right? If you look externally and you're trying to progress externally and everything about you is external, your job, your career, your money situation, all of these things externally is never going to be to a point where you're satisfied, because the only satisfaction comes within your shadow. Now, what exists within your shadow is either your anima or your animus. For men, we have an anima. For women, they have an animus. Now, if you do not tune in or tap into this energy, your anima becomes a succubus. Your animus becomes an incubus. These become negative energies and entities. So how do you circumvent all of this negativity? By having a real love for your fucking self. You gotta love yourself so fucking much that it'll fucking make you cry. It'll break your ass down. And this is perpetual. So essentially, when you're bringing forth this energy of loving yourself at the deepest, most core level, then you're tapped into the collective unconscious. Because none of us exist in a vacuum. It's never about you, but we got to look at sex and we got to look at love as a mechanism to awaken our divine purpose. What blocks this is that you might have negative experiences, sexual experiences with people in the outer world. When you deal with your inner world, you gotta get off of the bullshit. There is nobody coming within you in your inner world to say, you know what? Let's imagine some bullshit today. You know what I'm saying? Let's just fuck up this whole entire day with negative thoughts. How about it? Nobody is doing that. You not having the foreknowledge and the understanding to do shadow work will allow your mind or whatever intercessory or masculine energy to impede on your view of your shadow world or your inner world to say, you know what? Inside of me is this dark, desolate, empty void. I have nothing on the inside. So let me overcompensate in the external. Let me give all of this ashe to the external, but internally, I might be a little suicidal. It might be a little bleak on the inside. However, everybody looks at me and says, I'm very beautiful. I'm very sexy. This ass is fat. If you accentualize, I made that word up, but accentuize and incentivize and you sculpt and mold your body to that of a fucking Greek god and goddess, if you do not tune in and build up and frame the inner world, you will be halfway. We can look at the symbol of the yin and the yang. Within everything, there is everything, but you can't just skip the darkness. You just can't look at the yin yang and say, well, is my car dope? Is my house good? Do I look good? Is my credit score together? What else more should I ever need? You see me at this high-rise loft? You see I got it all together. There's nothing more to life than you need. But let's do the math on this. How many rich people do you know? And are they always happy? Or do they be needing help too? Do they be stressed out too? How many rich people get divorced? But I thought money was supposed to make everything happy and make everything good. If money don't make everything good, then you setting yourself up for failure, because a lot of us don't have money, but in our minds, we got it set up that once we get money, everything is going to be taken care of. That's the outer world, and that's the lack of inner world. So I'm giving you all of these extreme examples, and hopefully you can find yourself in the fact of, damn, that is crazy how I'm so tuned into the outer world and know not of this inner world, know not of my purpose, know not of my passions, know not of my emotional understanding. And generally, I'm just tuned into the physical, but there's a lot that makes the physical. There's a lot that goes into the physical. They say that every thought has become a thing. But in order to tap into those thoughts, they come from a sense of Zen or Tao or Nirvana. Nirvana, you look at the Hindu pictures of the Yab Yum, you see a Shiva making love to a Kali or a goddess or a Saraswati during a sexual embrace. That's not talking about men and women. That's talking about how you are supposed to be with your fucking self. You're supposed to be fucking the shit out of yourself. Metaphorically, not masturbationally. So let's think about having sex outside of the pleasure, visceral, traumatic aspects that y'all pornographic aspects that y'all referencing. Let's look at sex as a metaphysical tool. Let's look at sex as an occult tool. What is the most important thing about sex that makes it magical? Well, 1, you're focused. For 2, you're paying attention. For 3, you're present. For 4, you feel fucking good. Now, your inner world should exist of these energies. When you look at the Hindu temples, this is a download, and you look around at all of the figurines fucking, they're only talking about how you should set up your inner world. Because if you don't, and symbolically, maybe it's butterflies for you. Maybe it's fucking willows, who knows? But your inner world should be a whole fucking complex, a whole fucking city, a whole fucking universe of fucking various butterflies, because that's the shit that makes you happy. That's the shit that turns you on. You gotta think, why do I feel so pissy? You essentially feel pissy because you tuning in with the external world. So what would be the key? People who have the shadow work journal, when they get to, journal prompt 7, 8, or 9, is talking about making love to yourself. And the shadow work journal is talking about establishing automatic writing. You can't establish automatic writing when you tuned into the outer world, because you backwards. It's a simple metaphor. Your intellect is your carriage. You rest within your intellect, because at any point somebody might knock on my window and say, you got change, and I got to tune in. Here goes some change. Boom, boom, boom. Get back to the conversation. That's my intellect. I can utilize my intellect if need be, but I'm sitting in it. What drives me is my soul. What drives me is my purpose. What drives me is the spirit of love. What drives me is clarity, focus, intent, connection, honesty, authenticity. I can't establish that with nobody else if I don't establish that within myself. But I'm going to tell you, this program or this lecture is a detailed understanding of the inner world. And it's not anything foreign. It's not anything super crazy. It's rational, reasonable information that if you take notes, you will begin to understand that as long as I understand and build up my inner world, I have nothing to worry about, because essentially this is what I'm here to do. You think that if you don't do things externally, you'll be ostracized or judged or put at a negative spot. But that don't matter. It's people in shelters. It's people in high rises. It's people that gangbang. It's people that go to college. Nothing that you do on the external matters. The only thing that would matter is your inner world, because you got to wake up and go to sleep within your inner world. But you judge in your outer world as the dictator for your inner world. Shadow work is reversing that process. No, the inner world creates the outer world. It's okay that you live in the projects, honestly, because it ain't shit you can do about it right now, is there? It's okay that I've been in some situations, honestly. It don't matter about my situations, because there ain't shit that I can do about the situations. The only thing that I can do is begin to move towards a solution. The only way that I know how to move towards a solution is to be honest, not with y'all, but with myself, and begin to do the things that I need to do every day to start integrating and moving towards my soul. And so we give you the why. We lay out the inner world, but then we give you the why. So you connect to your inner self. That's one level. But once again, why the fuck are you doing this? Why does this, in the midst of all of the shit that's happening in the world, why the fuck are you talking about connecting to my inner self? Why are you talking about my inner world and all of these things? Because I'm going to try to say this nicely, but I don't think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to say it pretty rude, guys. You don't fucking know yourself. If you do not know yourself, but you're doing this and you're doing that, you're backwards. What should be primary? Knowing yourself. What does shadow work teach? How to know yourself. Who is yourself? It's ancient. Is it relative to your human life? Not at all. Will you ignore your shadow? What tends to happen? It gets pissed the fuck off. What does your shadow being pissed off look like or feel like? Depression, confusion, misalignment, anger, frustration. So you mean to tell me all of the things that I've been externalizing my anger towards, I should have been connecting to myself and I would have felt different, and then I would have looked at the situation different, and I would have realized that I'm the problem, and I would have been to be the cause and the solution to my problems, and I wouldn't have blamed my mom, my dad, my boyfriend, my husband, my wife, my kids, society, the white man, the colonizer, the slave master. I would stop blaming them and take full accountability, not for this human life and human understanding, but for me as a cosmological being that exists for lifetimes upon lifetimes. So what the fuck is a slave? What the fuck is a colonialism? What the fuck is an American? What the fuck is any of this shit when I'm a fucking star being, an intergalactical fucking space traveler? You mean to tell me I'm not who the fucking white people tell me I'm actually are? What the fuck? Oh my God. I cannot believe everything on the external world is bullshit. Everything is trying to take me away from my cosmological inheritance. Wow. Whoa. Whoa. So the why of shadow work is so you can actually tune into who you are as a star being. You would have to tune into your internal, your shadow, your darkness, flash a light on it, see it for what it is, and then bring that shit forth. Because what you've been bringing forth from the ego or the societal, social engineering, racial, class, gender, all of these particular constructs placed upon you to, as long as you can fight for women's equality and women's rights, you're not fighting for cosmological inheritance, and society will give you money. Hey, what we doing today is October breast cancer awareness. Let's go. Let's funnel money into it. All right. For November, we gonna do cosmological inheritance month. What? You fucking crazy weirdo? The thing about the cancer website is that they got diet plans on there with fucking pork, beef, and chicken. Think about that. You can look on scholarly studies on things that are carcinogenic: pork, chicken, beef. So if the cancer website got recipes that's going to give you cancer, and you have a whole month dedicated to donating money to these goddamn research corporations and 501c3s and philanthropic endeavors with pulling on your heartstrings, but essentially just money grabs, when you get to truth, you're going to look at it like it's crazy. Because motherfuckers will stand up tall and march in the streets for shit that they don't even know shit about. Know where nothing is going to. But when it comes to understanding yourself, you skeptical. But the reality is, this information ain't even about me. Everything that I said is referencing the inner world. Kyrie don't got shit to do with your inner world. The Hood Mystic don't got shit to do with your inner world. Your inner world is uncharted territory. It is empty canvas space, and you are the best artist in the world to create any and everything for which you want to create within your inner world. And these are analogies to feeling good and feeling great all the fucking time, because you could allow a person to intercede in your ability to feel good and feel great. But that's your fucking fault. Shadow work is taking accountability for your ability to feel great. To sit, to talk, to listen, to write, to journal, to work out, to source out, to speak, to understand, to grow within yourself is something that you owe yourself. Because imagine you sitting here with Jermaine saying, Jermaine, I'm going to let you drive my car to work one more day. But if I hear about you going over your baby mama house, you can't do this no more. And you sitting there talking to Jermaine. Soon as you go on lunch break, Shanique will calling you like, guess what Jermaine ass is doing? He gonna park your car at the Taco Bell, girl. They about to tow your car, girl. You better get down here to this Taco Bell right now before they tow your car. Now you gotta call off work, get your car, because you trying to make it right with a nigga. Of course you're gonna be scratching your head. Of course you're gonna be scratching your head, because that wasn't even the direction to go. You can't get it right with nobody until you get it right with yourself. Not to say that you need to break up, but this is an understanding. You can be in your relationships and come to this understanding. I know I did. I didn't feel like I'm not loving myself. Let me break up with my wife. No, I said I'm not loving myself. Let me have the conversations. Let me redirect the energy to let motherfuckers know that, okay, dad has to love himself too. And I'm not even putting that responsibility on nobody in this household. I'm taking full responsibility and full accountability on loving me. Because I feel like that's the right thing to do. I'm not saying, and at the same time, I need y'all to step up and tell me where y'all need to be accountable and love yourselves. Because the process of loving yourself, the process of shadow work is not a drain. However, it is freeing when you're able to speak your truth to people that you love. Because 10 times out of 10, if you're not doing shadow work, the people that you love got you in some type of stranglehold, submission hold, where you can say shit, but you can't say the truth. You say the truth, motherfuckers start tightening that sleeper hold. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Start saying half truths. Okay. You look good in that dress. You look good in that dress. We can't be honest in our friendships. We can't be honest professionally. You can't be honest with the supervisor that you know more than, but they only the supervisor because they somebody brother or somebody uncle. You can't be honest in that situation. You know you really don't deserve this job, you piece of shit. You can't say that. You're going to lose your job. But that's the truth. You got to start looking at how shit is being played out and start organizing your life in some truth. Because once you start recognizing that shit, oh, fuck that. What you begin to start to do, start making plans to better yourself. But if you're not in the realms of truth, you see it all the time. You ever seen somebody weigh 120 and then lo and behold, they weigh 175 by the end of the year? What happened? They wasn't honest with themselves. At a certain point, they was 135. When you 135, you can be honest with yourself and say, damn, I done gained 15 pounds in a month. Let me fucking alter and change some shit. Whatever you going through, you would put that at the forefront. And if you're going through something, you essentially going to say, I can lie to myself. Wallow said something that I seen where, like, in order to be sane, sometimes we got to be insane. Because if we were able to be sane, we would just go crazy. Whether you've been in jail, been in a traumatic situation, living in a shelter, homeless, living in somebody, like sometimes you be in uncomfortable situations, right? And because you're in an uncomfortable situation, it ain't the end all be all. You know you're going to get out of that uncomfortable situation so your mind can adapt to a fucked up situation. However, you do not want to get comfortable in that fucked up situation, because what tends to happen is that you be institutionalized. But this ain't always in prison. You could be institutionalized in a fucked up relationship. Meaning that you can be in a fucked up relationship and be like, well, you know how shit be. He hit me sometimes when he get drunk, but you know how shit be. You know, she cheat from time to time. You know, that's her baby father. I get it. I understand. Do you like it? No, it breaks me up. I feel like shit. I don't really like everything that she be doing, but you know, I ain't the man that I'm supposed to be. So I just let the bullshit happen. I'm not able to be honest with her because I'm not in my full masculine energy. So I'm letting her dictate and run roughshod over my life. Long story short, you're going to end up in a fucked up situation in a long-term event until you develop honesty. But you don't develop honesty without having the love for self, having the connection with self. And then the perpetual shadow work is always speaking with that honesty. Your honesty, what they say, the tongue is a sword. And the thing about a sword, it can cut through your obstacles. Your obstacles is not obstacles when you know how to talk, when you know how to speak, when you know how to listen. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. Everything that you say is in reference to God force energy. So in reference to shadow work, imagine yourself speaking, but not in the reference of your cosmological inheritance. You only speaking from the reference of you being a black man in America. But a black man in America is a label that they labeled the land, a label that they labeled your gender, labeled your race, has nothing to do with who you are as a Gnostic being, as a star being, as a non-physical feminine energy, as a spiritual being having a human experience. The titles and labels that society gives you has nothing to do with who you are. And the only way you can figure out who you are is to live. And how long are you going to live? Forever. Forever, your purpose is to learn who you are. It starts now. It ends never. This is the awakening. So it's the deepest spiritual thing. So do not let anybody on fucking YouTube or Instagram tell you about shadow work if they don't fucking understand what the fuck shadow work is. You can't just watch my videos and watch other people's on videos and read books on it and feel like you know what shadow work is. Because the reference of shadow work and doing the shadow work and seeing what it is, you then come back and say, no, this is what it's about, y'all. It's shit about us that we don't know. And we waiting for the white boy to tell us. And the reality is the white boy ain't going to tell us. We going to have to tell ourselves. I'll divvy dabble into this and I'll end the video. I'm into Jewish mysticism. I'm into Kabbalah. And I know that a lot of people think about rituals and magic as something that you need to learn. And maybe you do, right? Or something that is already perfected. And maybe it is. But there is a reality within Jewish mysticism, when it is a reality within Kabbalistic practices to create your own rituals and do your own spells. But 10 times out of 10, I know motherfuckers get excited. Like, okay, I'm about to do a spell for a Bubble Eye Benz on 20-inch rims. I'm about to do a spell and get Shaniqua's ass back. I'm about to do a spell and get Jermaine to stop driving my car over his baby daddy house. I'm going to do a binding spell. I'm going to bind him to me, hood. What you think about that? No. Do the shadow work first. This is the message. Do the shadow work first. Because then you can tune into yourself so deeply. When you do rituals, your manifestations are 100%. But you got to listen to yourself. You got to actually create the world for yourself that is favorable for, okay, bitch, I'm about to give you some spells. And you like, all right, what I need? Some papaya. You ain't be like, well, I don't know where no papaya at. I can't get no papaya. Your shadow said get some goddamn papayas. It's all different types of things within doing rituals, when doing spells, that you'll be told what to do when you do it. I'm only speaking from experience, family. You might want to get shit popping in your life and you ain't got no herbs. You ain't got no offerings. You ain't going to no water. You ain't doing no rituals. You ain't being consistent with your rituals. You watching other people do rituals. You watching rituals online. You watching rituals on YouTube. But your ass ain't went to the graveyard yet. Your ass ain't been to the river yet. Your ass ain't offered no fucking fruit yet. Your ass, your spirit telling you all the time, do this, do that, cook some fish, cook some chicken. You like, I don't feel like cooking. I'm going to just order some Uber Eats. Them motherfuckers ain't even talking about you. They telling you to fast. They telling you that they want some fish. Cook some fish, put it on a plate. That might look like some crazy ass shit. But in order to be magical, you got to break that barrier. You got to break that glass. Shadow work is, your spirit said cook fish. Sometimes me and my wife be doing wild shit, right? We do wild shit every day, ritualistically. And then I think about, like, what if the police pull us over after we did this wild shit? Like, we'll do an offering. And we'll do the offering, right? But, like, well, it's not, like, legal where we do our offerings at all the time. I'm not about to give all of that away. But then I think about, like, what if the police catch us? You know what I'm going to tell the police? I'm doing my religious work right now. I'm doing my spiritual work. You gonna have to charge me for whatever. I'm gonna document that shit in all of their court systems. What was you doing on this property? Giving my ashe, connected with my ancestors, doing geomancy, the same way that y'all got that building and that structure and that gate, trying to block off the energy. My shadows say that that's where I need to tune in and tap into. Guess where the fuck I'm going? I'm jumping over fences, fam. I'm meditating on shit. I'm going places that I know logically I'm not supposed to go. I'm setting out food. I'm burning candles. I'm offering chips. I'm offering cornbread. I'm doing all types of weird shit. And my shadow is telling me to do all of this weird shit. If you want me to make it make sense to y'all, I ain't going to be able to do that shit. All I'm trying to say is that if you can tune in to your inner weird, your inner truth, then you'll understand what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm talking to the men. Y'all so logical, and y'all don't even got a glass house. Men don't even got a glass house. Men got that same glass that you talk to a motherfucking jail on. Y'all got the plexiglass. It's gonna hurt y'all to walk into the woods and do a ritual. It's gonna hurt y'all to burn a candle. It's gonna hurt y'all to burn some fucking sage. It's gonna hurt y'all to drink tea. It's gonna hurt y'all to fucking normal and herbalize y'all fucking life. It's gonna hurt y'all to connect to y'all soul. It's gonna hurt y'all to meditate. Y'all niggas wake up, play video games, go to sleep, wake up, play video games. How do that work? Y'all know all about PS5 and Call of Duties and NBA 2K and online and squads and teams. I hope that all these men ain't out here playing video games like that. Oculus, VR and shit, watching porn with the surround sound shit. And then you hear righteous information. It's me throwing the goddamn M80. Trying to bust you out of that fucking plexiglass you done sat yourself in. Cause you done created an inner world of abandonment. The man's inner world, women make men feel like they ain't shit. Let's talk about the percentage of men that have sex. 15% of men have sex. 85% of men masturbate and watch pornography. It is not because they want to. It's because when they approach women, women say, get the fuck out of here, you ugly, crusty, nasty looking man. And the man be like, this is a Vallone shirt. I spent $1,500 for this. You see my fingernails? They clean. You see this car out there? It's nice. What the fuck you mean, dusty, crusty? I ain't talking about you, nigga. I'm talking about my ex. Every nigga I see, I use my ex filter. And he treated me so bad, I hate all men because of him. Get the fuck out of my face, you crusty ass, dusty ass dude. I can tell your inner world ain't pleasurable and nice, sis. You can automatically start to see how shit plays out, and it ain't about the outer world. Why you think you look so good? Why you think you put all of the pressure on her and she ain't give you nothing back? Cause that inner world ain't intact. So I all the time you trying to intercede in a motherfucker's inner world. And the reality is you'll never intercede in their inner world. You can save her. But like Project Pat and them said, if she don't want to be saved, she don't want to be saved. So in What Dreams May Come, Robin Williams had the whole shit set up. He had the goddamn lavish inner world. And his wife, she goddamn, her inner world was goddamn the bando. The trap house. Niggas was coming in and out with the fofo. It was, the cops was raiding that bitch every single day like she was in hell. These are inner states that exist in life and after death. You do not want to let your outer world, you do not want to let your outer world predicate your inner world. The reality of shadow work is to learn how to let your inner world predicate your outer world. And you predicate this by purpose and enthusiasm for your purpose. Enthusiasm is taken from the Greek word entheos, which simply means God within. If you can recognize the God within, then you are essentially doing shadow work. If you take your eyes off the God within, you are not doing shadow work. So if y'all catch me 15 years from now talking about this building that I'm building, I need y'all to check me. Hood, this building is nice and beautiful. The money that you're talking about is good. But remember back in 2021 when you said keep your eye on your shadow at all times? This is what it's about. Y'all got to check me. We got to check each other. Because the inner world predicates the outer world, and spirituality does not exist in permanence. The only way spirituality exists in permanence is when you get a clique of spiritual fucking crash dummies and say, oh, you spiritual. Oh, you spiritual. Oh, I like you. Oh, I like you too. That's an echo chamber. That's confirmation bias. And when it turns bad, you ain't even going to realize it, because to be spiritual, you have to be, shit can change. Shit can flip. And I can't take your inner world like I just know that you got a positive relationship with your inner world because you cool with my mans. You're going to have to express that, because enthusiasm is one of those things that can't be hidden. It can't be put away. It's not about views. It's not about numbers. It's not about clicks. It's not about people liking each other. It's about you understanding who the fuck you are. At the end of the day, if there's no YouTube, if there's no IG, if there's no followers, you have to understand that to conjure up some shit is your birthright. And you can conjure up all types of shit. It's all types of nature. It's all types of mounds. It's all types of ley lines. You got all types of energy. You got all types of connection. You got all types of ancestors. You got all types of shit that you could actually tune into. And every day your shadow is going to be like, all right, go here. Do this. Do that. Do that. And being enthusiastic is knowing that when your shadow speaks, you listen and you act. There's no permanence in that. There is no celebration in that. There is no trophy for that. There is no statue for that. It's just a conscious choice based upon having a satisfactory inner world. These are uncharted territories that I'm just happy to bring people into. So if this seems like something that you're interested in, please sign up utilizing the links in my description. This is just a pregame for the conversation that we'll be having more in depth August 16th. I like to do videos like this because I'm not going to talk about all of this information during the live lecture. The lecture is much more detailed and much more focused and much more point for point. But there's also a lot of overflow of information. And then I just try to let people know who I am as a teacher, as an educator. And you might not like my style. You might not like my delivery. But this is really just going off my muscle memory at this point. But the lecture, I'm going to not go off my muscle memory. I'm going to be very direct, very to the point, and I got information to share This is not going to be an online course where a motherfucker just mumbo jumbo you to death. I'm not going to ramble. I'm not going to go on tangents. I'm not going to repeat the shit that I said in the first lecture, in the second lecture, and then the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, and the sixth. I'm not going to repeat myself. This is all new information in reference to the inner world. And if you are interested in the inner world, your inner world, if you understand that the only world that you'll ever be in is the inner world, you might want to sign up for the class. However, if you don't want to sign up for the class, it's not going to hurt me. I'm just letting people know, if you are interested in some shit that's going to really help you and assist you in your spiritual journey, sign up for the course. You know what I'm saying? It's $23. The link is in my description. It's something that I've done and do and will continue to do for the rest of my life. I love to educate. I love to teach. When I was a child, when I was in school, the teacher asked me what I wanted to be, and I told her I wanted to be a teacher. My whole life, I've never wavered from that particular thought. So I'm in my purpose. People have signed up for the course, so it's not like I'm pulling it like I need people to sign up. Hella people that signed up for the course already. I'm just like doing my due diligence, doing the thing to do in reference to promotion, in reference to content, in reference to being authentic. And then if you don't sign up to the course, you could essentially listen to this video, take notes on this video, and get a good gist of shadow work. However, if you need a more detailed understanding of the inner world, for which we're about to lay out in a very beautiful slideshow, I think I got about 36 slides. So it's going to be a big, robust lecture. And you could, I'll put the lecture together so you can listen to it multiple times. I put the lecture together so you can take notes and in tune on the notes, apply. I put the lecture together so when you're working through the journal, you have a better understanding of working through the journal. And this will not be my last shadow work course. So I plan to do shadow work courses every 3 months and, preparing for session 3 as we speak. So thank you for all y'all support. Thank you for your positive reviews and positive feedback. Thank you for signing up for the class if you have already. And because you signed up for the class, I work very diligently and very hard to deliver the highest level of spiritual education known in the whole fucking universe. I put my information up against anybody's information, and the only way that is validated if you understand it. So, let me know that you understand it by doing the work. If y'all don't understand the shit that I'm talking about tomorrow, please let me know. Pull my coattails. Hood, I don't understand when you said this. That's going to be, I'm going to say this and I'm going to end the video. During the live, and I'm going to say this before we start the lecture. If you do not understand what I am saying, write down what you do not understand so we can bring forth clarity. Period. If it is a hard concept to wrap your mind around, please bring it. If you don't like it, don't agree, let's talk about it. Because I want to be so clear about this shadow work. I want it to be so transformative. I want you to be so in tune with yourself that you understand that being in tune with yourself is the most important shit in the world. To love yourself, to have positive feelings for yourself is the most important thing for the world. And if you don't utilize the positivity within yourself, then essentially you will look at the outer world as being a negative place, because it all starts with you. So if you can't tell, I'm very excited about this message to bring forth tomorrow, October 16th, 11:11 a.m. The recording will be available for purchase afterwards if you do not want to sign up and partake in the live Q&A. But with that being said, y'all have a wonderful day. I'm going to continue my 9 days of the goddess. It is day 9. And I'm about to do something special for the goddess. And I'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace.